car today because we've got a bit of a cycle situation going on.
Laura's making me exercise again.
Hannah's mum did my hair this morning. I've made it better actually. It was like up here and I felt like a dinosaur, so we've shoved about 100 clips in.
You're trying to say my mum did a bad job?
No, she did an excellent job. So we are going to the Boss today for a run. We don't actually know how far it is though, do we?
We'll just run until you've
We're just
done
going to
enough.
run and then we're going to be stuck in the middle of nowhere, but we have enough snacks to last.
A lifetime.
Yeah, there was a situation a while ago when I was in the middle of nowhere and I didn't know where I was and I was getting really lost and I was starving. Thanks, Ham. And ever since then, I've always put 100 snacks in, and I think Hannah finds me very strange for doing so, but I'd rather be over-prepared than under-prepared.
What need to go away?
I don't want to splash your ass, so she splashes me instead. Woohoo! Yes, lad! No matter where I go, I'll always be having exactly the same, just in a different country. So, for training, I don't like to change things up too much. I like to keep things on track as much as possible, even if I am in a different area, because it's just about keeping that routine and making sure I'm still putting in the work and still getting things done. But then it's also when I am away, I like to keep that balance of spending time with the people that I love, not necessarily always prioritizing training and exercising. But I'm quite lucky in this case because Hannah, she enjoys going out and bike riding and things like that, so at the start, sometimes it can be a bit difficult getting into the routine and finding the balance. And at the start, I hadn't found a gym. I did a bit of research before I came to see what was around the distance, doing all of that. But I always find that it's very difficult to see things online, especially when it's all in Dutch. Sometimes it isn't always the same. They show you the best of the gyms, so I did go and see them and kind of get a feel for them. The gym that I have been using, I just automatically knew it was going to be the gym I was going to. It's not the closest, so it is sometimes pretty awkward to get to. I did have to rely on Hannah and people in the house and stuff to sometimes take me because it's not exactly easy to get to, but it did have most of the equipment that I needed. It just had a really nice environment, and so I think for me that's just pretty important to find something that you know you're going to train well in and enjoy being in. For the past 2 weeks, I've been doing regular exercising, still the 5 or 6 times a week of training, but instead of doing just mainly focusing on gym-based and a little bit of running, I have switched up to more running and less gym-based. I am in a different country. I'm not in the city. I'm not in London. I'm not in a place which is super busy and, you know, has all the traffic lights and people out and things like that. It's open space with greenery and it's just more enjoyable. I have enjoyed so much getting out and running instead of in a city. That's just what I enjoy, and so every time I'm in an environment like this that I love being in, I always make the most out of running because I know that when I go back home I don't enjoy it half as much. So I've been doing more running than I've actually ever done before, which I didn't know at the time if it was the best idea, because I know that with running you do need to slowly progress. You can't just jump from 3 mile to a 15 mile, things like that, because it just increases your risk of injury. But I think the maximum that I have ever ran before is about 4 or 5 miles, and for the past 2 weeks I've been doing 7 miles, and then I've also been doing another 3 or 4 on top of that, so I've definitely been doing more towards the 10 miles, which is something my body isn't used to, so I have definitely felt more of the strain of like constantly running like on my bones and my more lower body. So for the gym, I have been taking more advantage of just enjoying my workouts. I always do enjoy my workouts, but not necessarily going hard every session like I aim to. I've just been using this opportunity to try out new equipment, because there's different equipment in the gym, like hip thrust machine, lying hamstring curl. These are machines that I have used before, but I don't have them in my gym, so I always use the opportunity to try out or to use the things that I don't have. And so workouts have just been more fun and more relaxed. But when I do go back home, things will be back on track again, and I will be going hard at it again. Also, for the runs, I've been trying to get Hannah out too. Because she hasn't done a lot of running, I feel like we're on slightly two different levels, which is completely fine. So she's used this opportunity to go out and bike ride while I run, and that's also a way for getting her out and getting her active. I found it really useful because it's a way of pushing me. She's going fast, I feel like I need to go faster and faster, so it's also really helped with my running in that way. And towards the end, I've tried to get her into a bit more running, because it's not something that she would go out and do. She likes more treadmill, more indoor based. Towards the end, when I'm like cooling down, we swap over, I cool down more on the bike and she does a little bit of a run. It's all been very beneficial and a way of spending time together but also keeping active. So for me, when I'm away, not at home, not in my usual routine, it's just about making the most out of it, but also having that balance of spending time with the people that I love as well. But I hope you guys have had a lovely weekend. Monday, let's go.